This was a very peaceful existence.
Hey, Bella. Come on.
I was really loving this life, and it was basically a jungle. I loved it. It was like a blank palette where I could just live and figure out what I wanted to do.
The very first today. Very first.
I had no gardens except for some flowers and tomatoes. And look at those black walnut trees. They were babies when I first moved here. I love them so much. They're so big now. But this is when I started really learning I wanted to garden big and grow my own food and get more animals.
Okay, girlsies. Come on. Spread straw. Here.
Once Harriet and Tessa were growing and the fences were up, we were just rocking and rolling in our life. I loved these dogs. Look at that, Tessa and Harriet. Tessa ventured off and got hit by a car. What a big loss this was. But we had to keep going. I've decided to look at doing the rest of this pull down because I can't find any help and the horses can't come in the barn until I get this down. I will not feel good with them being out here. There's a lower branch, as we know. I'm going to pull that down first. I also noticed that this guy is kind of in the ground, holding up the weight, and there's another one, but there's also a limb on the little limb here. This is the littler one that I'm just going to pull down. It's just hung up. I'm curious if when I pull it down, if it will shift any of the big branch. I'm going to play with it very, very safely. I've been researching and just thinking about it. I'm not doing anything like rash and quick because I know how dangerous it is. Fifi, what do you think, little girl? Are you going to help me? Are you going to help? Huh? I know I'm going to put animals up before I do any of this. Fee! All summer the gate has been shut. The horses haven't been able to come in. It's time they come in. Yeah. Guess I have a helper. Look at this. If only I could give you the chainsaw, you could do a little bit of work for me. Well, don't give up, Fifi. Don't give up on me. Hi, baby. Oh, you are such a sweetheart. This tree, we all loved this beautiful elm tree, and it died. I was so sad. And then here's the beginning of my gardens. I kept them very close to the cabin. Never thought of having a garden further away. And then this came about. Oh, it destroyed all my first hard work. For 3 days, all I could do was watch and wait nervously and scared of this water. Oh my goodness, it took down all the front fence and the gate, and luckily I had a friend from out of town come help put everything back up and better. I was so lucky. And then I had the deck put up on the barn. And here is where I decided to start gardens away from the creek and any potential flooding that might ever occur. But look at this. I started a complete obsession. Every year it was bigger and better, and I just fell in love with it. I'm going to do the running bow line. It gives me the loop to noose around the branch. So here's 2 of them. Now, I've got a big loop. I'm going to do a bow line through this loop I made, so I'm going to go ahead and there's our knot. Okay. Now I got to do it on the other side. Stuck. Oops. This is funny, but I went to get my pole saw to help me, and I came back. And it already fell apart. Yeah, okay. So, these obviously weren't holding any weight. Neither was the nothing. I'm too scared. So now that I knew how to fence, me and my ambition got all the supplies and started doing an awesome field for the horses and stretched that wire on my Land Cruiser. Greta and Harriet helping me. I dug all these post holes. Oh my gosh, this was my first really big fencing endeavor. And all along, anything I was doing at my farm, I was going to Nashville and teaching my popular little, well, big guitar and violin group that I had created. I'm so glad I created this, I loved teaching kids. The day after I finished that fence, Zuzu died. In fact, she died the last day of April, and Tessa was hit the first day of April. But I eventually got a new horse, and his name was Galahad. And I started really getting into training with Boy. And this is when I first had chickens. So this was my little find. I found her on Craigslist. This little thing made me so happy. It took me 5 years after Bella died to open up to having another shepherd. Shepherds have my heart. I love dogs, all dogs, but shepherds are definitely something special. And Willa, oh my gosh, she's so special. And then Greta and Harriet, oh my. And all through this time I was also performing, but mostly getting into my recording. I also was starting videos. I played with creating my own music videos. And that's kind of what got me started wanting to film for YouTube. Oh, and look, these cats that I've had in my life, they're just gorgeous.
I'm not using my tractor. I'm too wimpy. But I'm gonna lock my hubs and let's see. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that cut that I did, look at that. It did weaken that limb. It really is holding up that branch. Oh my gosh. Wow. I'm gonna concentrate on the bottom one first. Get it out of the way. I've already untied one of them, but this bowline knot is amazing. I've had an injured thumb for quite a while, so it's hard to do things, but look at that, you guys, even with an injured thumb. Look at this. Wow. I'm so happy to know how to tie this amazing, strong knot. Now I'm ready to pull that tree down with just this loop. I've learned the midline bowline, which is pretty cool. There it is. So I had to make 2 of these to tie to the truck loop. Well, that did good. And now I'm going to pull the other down, hopefully sideways. We shall see. The cool thing about this running bowline that I'm using, that my good friend in Maine got me to learn, my tree man in Maine, Scott. It's just a loop, and I can put this around another branch without untying any knot, redoing anything. I've got everything ready. It's just so easy compared to what I was doing, what, how many months ago was I doing this? Making a mess and cutting my rope. Trying to think of which way it'll fall, because it may all fall toward me. The way these branches are so leggy, I don't doubt it. Right up here. Because it's going to work and it's going to be safe. Let me get closer. I have not had the horses in their paddock for I don't know how many months it's been, but it's cold weather. It's time for them to come in. This has actually been a big stress for me. I can't wait around any longer for anyone who might help. So I'm hoping that I do it. I don't have to clean it up. I just need it on the ground. Okay, look at that. Okay, so I'm going to pull the truck here.
There's something in me that drives me because, boy, was I driven. Things started really happening with me wanting to do more, and I attempted this roof all by myself. I think I'm crazy because now that I look at that roof, I'm like, how did I ever do that? I got used to being up on that ladder. Look at that. It was invigorating, and it felt like such an accomplishment. It took me 2 weeks to do that. I was so happy. Oh, and it only got me wanting to do more. So I sold my house in Nashville and bought the red roof house. And I started fencing that whole yard. Got that done. But it was like a farm hand ghost got a hold of me. I couldn't stop. So here I am sitting, having my coffee, watching the horses eat over the fence. So yes, I decided, okay, this is cool. I can do this. Hey, I think it was only 80 feet. And I stretched it on this Land Cruiser, stretched that fence. And oh, I was so happy with this because I had a gate that I put in the middle and I could walk right off the front porch and go right into the field right there. I used to have to walk all the way around just to get on the other side of the fence. And then this put an end to all the mud that we would track every winter and any rainy season. I loved after doing this job. This was nice. I didn't have to spread straw anymore.
We're just going to sit here and relish in our achievement. Of course, Willow was in the house. When I do anything dangerous, I always keep her put up. So overprotective of this one. But we're going to sit here and try and take these knots apart. I know there's a friend of mine, Mark P. Mark wants to know, now Mark knows. Actually, there's a couple of Marks. The other Mark bought me these straps. You know, you people are just so kind and giving and supportive and, you know, yeah, friends. You guys are my friends, and I really appreciate it. And, one big thing for me is that I can share, but, ooh, look at this. We went fishing and got a stick. Okay. These knots are, look at this. This knot is not even bound. This is the running bow line, and it's just crying to be untied. Look at that. Unbelievable. We are going to have a wonderful evening later, letting the horses in their spot.